Okay, today we're going to be making a couple of op art line drawings using parallel lines. Parallel lines meaning all the lines are going in the same direction at the same time to show form. Form meaning when a figure in art has 3 dimensions or appears to look 3-dimensional. So for these projects, what you're going to need are a ruler, pencil, a black Sharpie or some sort of black felt tip pen or marker, and also blank white computer paper. Okay, we're going to first start off with this sort of angular one that looks like sort of mountain peaks and valleys. So for this one, you can get out your piece of blank computer paper. You can lay it down in portrait orientation. Remember, portrait orientation meaning it's going long and tall, not wide and fat. And your first step is you're going to get out your ruler and you're going to line up the side of your ruler with the edge of the page and the bottom of the page. So it should be going in a vertical line. The next step is you're going to take your pencil. You're going to hold down your ruler with one hand. With your other hand, you're going to put the pencil tip up against the ruler and drag it vertically against that ruler to make a vertical line. You're going to do the same step on the other side of the paper. You're going to line up the edge of your ruler with the side of your paper, and at the bottom, hold it down with one hand, take the tip of the pencil, put it up against your ruler, and drag it down vertically. So you should have 2 vertical lines drawn in pencil. Now, in between those 2 vertical lines, we're going to make 3 to 4 sort of jagged, wavy lines. So on the other side, in the middle of the 2 vertical lines, take your pencil and just kind of jaggedly do some sort of wavy-ish line. So 1, 2. Notice these lines are not parallel, meaning they're not going in the same direction at the same time. You can make them different. 3, and if you have enough room, 1 more. 4. Remember, they're not parallel, they're going in different directions. So now that we have our 2 vertical lines on the side and our 3 to 4 sort of jagged wavy lines in the middle, what we're going to do is we are going to start off making from the side horizontal lines, but then diagonally up when we hit our one of our jagged lines, and then diagonally down to our second jagged line, diagonally up to the third, diagonally down to the fourth, and diagonally up, and then ending it off horizontally again. So just to show you, let's start off with our first line. What you're going to do is let's take out that marker, that black felt tip marker. You're going to start from the side of your paper, going horizontally to create a horizontal line, and stop once you get to that pencil vertical line. From that end of your horizontal line, you are going to draw a downward diagonal line until it hits this first jagged line. So ready? Start at the end and diagonal, stop once you hit that first jagged line. Then from that first jagged line, the end of this one, we're going to make a diagonal line going up until it hits our second jagged line. So go ahead, diagonally up till it hits that jagged line. Once it hits that jagged line, you're going to do the opposite, diagonally down till it hits that third jagged line. So ready? Diagonally down till it hits that third jagged line, and then once it hits that third jagged line, diagonally up, diagonally down till you hit that second vertical line. Then to finish it off, we're going to continue it as a horizontal line. Okay, so now now that we have our first sort of horizontal to zigzag to horizontal line, we're going to make a second line parallel to this first one, meaning it's going in the same direction at the same time as best as we possibly can. And the best thing to do is have it be very, 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 very close to your first line. So I'm going to do my second one going parallel. First parallel horizontal. Then I'm going to stop at that line. Parallel diagonally down. Parallel diagonally up. Parallel diagonally down. Parallel diagonally up. Parallel diagonally down. Parallel horizontal. Notice I'm trying to keep my parallel lines close to my first line, but I'm trying to avoid having them crisscross, because remember, since they're parallel, they should be going in the same direction, not crossing. If you accidentally cross it, it's okay. So let me do my next one. Parallel horizontal, parallel diagonal down, parallel diagonal up, parallel diagonal down, parallel diagonal up, parallel diagonal down, and parallel horizontal. Okay, so I'm going to keep going with that, trying to make them parallel, not crisscross, but still be close enough together to have that sort of hypnotic visual effect. So I'm going to continue making these parallel lines, stopping where I get to the jagged line and going back up. Notice that how far away this one ended up being. It's because in order to avoid crisscrossing them, I had to reach all the way over down here before I hit that jagged line. And then I had more room to go back diagonally up to my other line. That's fine. It will create a nice sort of visual effect. So again, I'm trying to keep it parallel as close as possible. And you guys are going to keep going. Again, stopping when you hit one of those jagged lines, switching it up once you hit that jagged line, and trying to keep them as parallel as possible without crisscrossing. Okay, so I'm going to continue with this. Again, stopping when you hit either the vertical line, switching it to diagonal, switching it to diagonal again, switch, 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 trying to keep it as parallel as possible. Now I'm going to go very quickly. You guys can take your time with this, but I'm just going to show you how to do the rest very, very quickly. You guys can take your time. All right, so I finished it up, and notice how it was really difficult to keep those lines parallel, especially when they hit these sort of jagged lines. And we see sometimes the lines being super close to one another, sometimes they went far away, and that's fine. It just further creates this illusion of form, like these are some sort of mountains that are popping out of our page. So hopefully you enjoyed that one. Again, if you didn't finish it, it's okay. I just wanted to show you how to do this one. So if you are in the middle of it, let's just take a pause right now so that we can just show the beginning of the second one. And the second one is a bit different because it is using curved lines to show sort of curved cylindrical form. So these kind of look like mounds or like hives or some sort of forms that look like piles that are nice and round. So here's a little game that we're going to play. In order to start this project off, you want to lay down your paper in landscape mode, which is the opposite of portrait. That means that it's laying down wide and fat. Then the first step you're going to do is just take your black marker or Sharpie, and you're going to draw about 18 dots around your page. Don't have them clustered in one little location. You want them kind of arranged all the way around in different parts of your page. So go ahead and draw 18 dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Notice how I kind of put them all around my page, not in a cluster. In order to start this out, here's the game. You are going to start drawing your horizontal lines from one side of your page all the way across to the other side of your page. However, if you are drawing your horizontal line and it's about to hit one of your dots, what you have to do is you can't hit it. You have to draw a curved line going around the dot to avoid it, and then continue horizontally across, either until you get to the other side of the page, or if you hit another dot and have to go around it. Then, as you keep going down, underneath that curved line that you just made to avoid that dot, you have to draw a parallel line going around that curved line as well. So just to show you, first starting off, I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to go slowly from one side to the next side of the page, drawing a horizontal line. Remember, I'm going to stop if I hit, or if I'm going to hit one of my dots. So let's see if I hit one of my dots. Nope, I didn't hit a dot yet, so I'm going to keep going with my horizontal lines. Doing another parallel horizontal line. Great, haven't hit a dot yet. Oh, I'm so close to that dot, but I didn't hit it. Okay, but I'll hit that dot the next time. So going horizontally, and once I get to that dot, I'm going to stop before I get to the dot. Stop. And I'm going to draw a curved line going around that dot, back up to where my horizontal line was going, and I'm going to continue that horizontal line across. Okay, let's do it again. I'm going to go horizontal line up. I'm about to run into that dot, so I'm going to go around it. Parallel horizontal line until I hit that curved line, so I have to go parallel to that one to make a curved line underneath and go across. Okay, now we have two curved lines happening. So I'm going to go horizontally from my side until I get to that curved line. Do a parallel curved line, go across. Up, parallel curved line, back up, horizontal across. And you just keep drawing those parallel lines. Ooh, I almost hit that dot, until, again, you come across another dot and you have to make another curved line around it, and you're just going to keep going down. Notice how once I'm making these parallel curved lines, they're starting to get wider and wider and wider, and that's exactly what you want it to do. Okay, so I'm going to go around, continuing, making my new parallel line, curved lines, going around my new dots that I had gone around. I'm just going to keep going. Again, trying to avoid hitting any dots. You need to draw that curved line around any dots that you might be up. See, another dot. I'm going to go around, but then keep making that curved parallel line. And I'm just going to keep going around. Remember, trying to avoid those dots, but keeping my lines parallel to the lines that are right above it. So I'm going to keep going. Oop, avoiding that dot, coming back up. And if you accidentally went through a dot, it's okay, you can just keep going. This is just an exercise. So I'm going to keep going. I think you guys have the hang of it for now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in warp speed just so that you guys can see how I can finish it. So let's go into warp speed. Okay, now it's complete. And notice once I got to the bottom, if I had run out of room to create a second layer of my parallel lines, I just filled in those little white spaces with more parallel lines that I could fit within the white spaces, so that all the white spaces at the bottom are still filled with parallel lines. Okay, so now you should have two different sort of op art line drawings that show form. If you didn't get to finish either, after this video, you can continue until you finish both. If you need more instruction, remember you can rewind the video and watch the instructions again. I can't wait to see these. Good luck. Okay, now it's complete. And notice once I got to the bottom, if I had run out of room to create a second layer of my parallel lines, I just filled in those little white spaces with more parallel lines that I could fit within the white spaces, so that all the white spaces at the bottom are still filled with parallel lines. Okay, so now you should have two different sort of op art line drawings that show form. If you didn't get to finish either, after this video, you can continue until you finish both. If you need more instruction, remember you can rewind the video and watch the instructions again. I can't wait to see these. Good luck.